So the South basically said, Republicans, if you want the presidency, the compromise is going to be unoccupied. So move your troops back out. We will be taking over, and basically we're going to run things the way we want it run.
So while I was trying to prepare for this, I just came across a couple of things. And one thing that really struck me was these are compromise of 1877,
Yeah.
where there was a stalemate. None of the two presidential candidates could get enough electoral college votes to clinch the presidency. And then there was a compromise which sort of saw the Republican candidate win, but with certain concessions, which was a setback for African Americans at that time, which essentially ended Reconstruction. So, can you give a little bit more understanding of what happened in 1877?
Essentially, what happened was the Republicans and the Democrats basically were in a dead heat. And when they got together, because what happens in that case, Congress basically decides, the House of Representatives basically decides who the president's going to be. And the compromise was basically, was it Rutherford B. Hayes? Republicans, you can have the presidency, but the compromise is you remove all the federal troops from the South. Reconstruction, at the beginning of Reconstruction, basically up until 1877, the South was occupied by the U.S. Army. You know, the Freedmen's Bureau, there were like local Freedmen's Bureau offices throughout the South. Blacks, when they went out and voted, if they were harassed, the U.S. Army was there to go, hey, you know what? We're going to protect these blacks, let them vote or face arrest or get all shot up or whatever, you know, the consequences might be. So the South basically said, Republicans, if you want the presidency, the compromise is going to be unoccupied. So move your troops back out. We will be taking over, and basically we're going to run things the way we want it run.
And I think that did a lot of damage because without federal troops there to protect the rights of Black people, it was almost like a revert to status quo, but without legalized slavery itself. And that led to some other things like, say, the Black Codes. And
well, one thing to note, though, it wasn't just Blacks who were in danger. White Republicans, a lot of white Republicans got killed because they were called carpetbaggers. Basically, they weren't popular either. So white people were in danger too. Just bear that in mind.
Yeah, and it just goes to show how this thing can transcend even race, quote unquote, and ethnicity. It's so surprising how the Republican Party of today is divorced from the Republican Party then. Like it's totally unrecognizable. If they were the ones who were fighting for these sorts of rights, civil rights for Black people, for equality and all that, it seemed like it's the total opposite today. And I know we've talked about this before, how that happened, about the Southern strategy, the flip of both parties. But the change seemed like a 180. It seemed too stark.